Yo, 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 it's your boy Shell back with another video, man. Going over the NBA offseason so far. We got three big trades I want to talk about. LaMelo Ball to the Timberwolves, John Morant to the Portland Trailblazers, and Walker Kessler to the Lakers, man. And I want to highlight these three moves in the offseason because they're puzzling to me. They're very, very puzzling to me. Let's go over with the big one. LaMelo Ball to the Minnesota Timberwolves for one unprotected first round pick and three pick swaps. This is a huge, huge bet by the Timberwolves. If you're the Timberwolves, if you're able to lock in Anthony Edwards his next extension, if you're able to keep LaMelo Ball healthy and manage his minutes like the Charlotte Hornets did this season, because that is a big, big factor on why he played so many games this season. He was about 29 minutes as opposed to 36, 37 minutes, which most of the top guards and the high usage guards in the league are playing. So that's going to be a huge factor. Now, that being said, if it pays off for them, you gave up one first round pick and you have the best backcourt in the league. Because the reason why I say they gave up one first round pick is because if they're able to lock in Anthony Edwards to the next extension, he'll be around when those pick swaps convey. And chances are that the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards on their roster will be much better than the Charlotte Hornets. That's a big bet, and that's a bet the Charlotte Hornets were willing to make. And the Charlotte Hornets now get to build their team around Concanipple and Brandon Miller. So I think they're going to, build around those two young guys. They traded away Miles Bridges, but they're going to look to compete. Khan was very impressive. LaMelo Ball got him a lot of, threes. I mean, first rookie to ever lead the league in three-pointers made. Super impressive player. You see why they want to build around him, a young superstar, proven in his rookie season, and also, reliable, or at least projects to be more reliable. Even he's only played one season. So I mean, if I'm Charlotte, I like the bet that they made. I think this bet can pay off because the downside for Minnesota and why it's such a big risk is because if Lamelo Ball gets hurt and the Minnesota Timberwolves have a poor season because they don't have a lot of front court depth, and the West right now is loaded with front court depth. They need to shore up that hole. They're going to get exposed there. If they don't have a good season, Lamelo Ball's not healthy. Anthony Edwards has the Minnesota Timberwolves on the clock. He signed, I believe, until the uh, 28 season or 29 season. I might be mistaken, but the extension is going to become looming after next season, and that's when he's going to start to get his leverage. Because if he doesn't sign an extension, the trend in the NBA is that they're going to look to move him. So this is make or break. I think it's a high risk, high reward bet for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if you're the Charlotte Hornets, you drafted LaMelo Ball, you know what you've had him on your franchise. Making this bet, I got no problem with it. I think they will also be a competitive team with the pieces that they have if they continue to draft well and continue to build out their roster. And now in the NBA, these big contracts, man, they're tough to move. I mean, you just saw what Jalen Brown went for, and basically the whole thing is outside of the whole media perception about Jalen Brown and how the Celtics tank his value was also is just how much money he's making with how restrictive the league is getting, building around multiple stars. Do you think Jalen Brown is worth the max? Now, in my opinion, he's absolutely worth the max. He's an MVP caliber player. I think he's going to show that in Philly. But there's a huge talking point around the league about these guys on big deals and being able to move them. I don't want to get too sidetracked and go on to another Jalen Brown video. But let's talk about the next trade, which is going to be the Portland Trailblazers picking up John Morant for basically nothing. I mean, I don't have the details of the trade in front of me, but it was a couple players. I don't know what Portland's doing. They have a real influx of guards. They got Scoot Henderson, Shaded Sharp, Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday. Now, I don't expect all those guys to be on the roster along with John Morant, but clearly they're going to be making some moves. They got a new owner in town. They're trying to shake things up. And I think if you're a new owner, what do you want? You want a star. So if you can get John Morant on the cheap and he becomes a star for you guys, great. I just don't see that happening. I think his image is beyond reconcilable. I don't think a fresh start is going to change that. I think the reality is that he hasn't gotten better since he's his second year in the league, and he's never improved as a shooter. He hasn't become more efficient, and these non-efficient smaller guards that can't play defense um are not uh sought after in the league. I know Jalen Brunson just won the championship, but he had the whole team built around him. He was showed you again and again that he was reliable. He's a unique situation. The league is not trending that way. So it's a swing for the Portland Trailblazers. If you're the Memphis Grizzlies, you just want to wash your hands of that, move on. You got Cam Boozer coming in. You want him to be the franchise player, and you really don't want any remnants from your past core of Jared Jackson, Desmond Bain, and John Morant. Some great teams with the Grizzlies, man. I really thought they were going to make some noise in the West. It really ends an era, and I hope for Ja's sake he can reestablish his career. He's probably going to have to come off the bench, depending on the guard situation there, and see how he plays. But he's got to be more efficient. He's got to become a better shooter, and the injuries have really, really taken a toll on him. The amount of athleticism that he plays with, he's just so athletically dependent. And I just don't know if he's the same player anymore. I hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong. But I just don't see it. I think it's a swing for Portland, but ultimately I think it's going to be a miss. That's my take on it. Now I want to get to the final, but not least, the Lakers picking up Walker Kessler. Big move. They traded the control of their first round picks for the next 4 years, two first round picks, two pick swaps. And they signed him to a massive 4 year deal, I believe 4 years, 130. I like Walker Kessler. He's a nice player. I mean, that's the going rate for a player of his caliber in the league. And I thought what they gave up to get him, two first round picks and two pick swaps, price was steep. Price was steep, but he was sought after. And I hope he can come back from his injury. I'm interested to see what the Lakers are under pressure, man. If LeBron James goes somewhere and has a better season than Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, and now Walker Kessler, that trio, I think it's going to look really really bad for them. And I think Luka Doncic is at a point in his career where he needs to win. Like the honeymoon phase is over in LA. Him not being in the playoffs last year, Lakers fans getting to see LeBron. If you can't even at least get him to where LeBron was last season, it's gonna look like a total step back from the Lakers' perspective. So the pressure's on Luka, but I like the fit Walker Kessler next to Luka and Austin Reeves. I think Luka needs a rim running big. Obviously, the pick and roll game with him, he's a maestro when it comes to that. Um, he's impeccable. And I believe in Luca. I think he's gonna win a championship. He's just too talented not to win a championship, and I could see it happening on the Lakers. I could see them. The Lakers always have that star appeal of being able to pick up guys on the cheap, add some key role players, maneuver in and out of the trade deadline. They're always a destination, but they're pretty much locked in now, man. Using all their other free agent space to sign some key players, fill out their roster, really add depth around Luca, and the league is going to a 1 to 2 star model. It's no longer going to be 3 stars. The Lakers needed to get out of that outdated format. Um, Granted they had that format before the second apron really kicked in. So, um, Or no, granted, I mean they had Austin Reeves, so they were kind of skating by on that. But overall, I like the move for the Lakers. The Jazz, I mean, they just if you were not going to retain him, you getting value is amazing. They're rebuilding. Darren Peterson coming in for them is exciting. I mean, they're obviously going to want to replace a big, but they know they're a couple years away. And a lot of these teams, like the Jazz, like the Wizards, all these rebuilding teams, man, they're going to be looking for the OKC model. They're going to be looking to stockpile picks. The Charlotte Hornets throw them in the mix there too, because I definitely think they're going to take a step back with the amount of talent they traded off of their team. But in the long run, I think they're looking to build a sustainable, cost-effective winner, and that's where the league is headed. And depth has become so important. I mean, you look at how deep the Spurs are, you look at how deep the Thunder are, you look at how deep the Knicks are. Despite losing Mitchell Robinson this season, they were able to retain. You know, m- Obviously they have all their starters and some key role players in Landry Shamet and Jose Alvarado. So far, we're just waiting on the King to make his move. You know, I said it in my last video. I think Jalen Brown has shifted the power in the East with the 76ers. I definitely think they're the favorite in the East. I'm not going to say they're the outright favorite because I think San Antonio and OKC are just that formidable. But I feel like the King, if he goes to the East with Cleveland, he's going to shift the power right back. It's going to be Cleveland and Philly. If he goes out west, it's going to create a real interesting dynamic where if he goes to the Warriors, him and Steph Curry being an older squad, but being so battle tested, man. In the biggest moments, the Olympics, the finals, these guys have done it. Um, I wouldn't bet against them. Obviously, health would be a huge concern, but I wouldn't bet against them if they were healthy. So those are the first, big dominoes to drop in free agency. Obviously, we're still waiting on the King. I'll keep y'all posted with an update. Trying to post more and more on the regular. Appreciate it if you guys can like the videos and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. And definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. I'm going to be doing some NFL content as well. It's not just the NBA channel. Um, but the NFL content is going to get a little bit closer to the season. Right now, it's the NBA off season. We're going to keep the videos primarily NBA. But catch y'all later. Enjoy the video. Peace.